Hey guys, if you're enjoying the content that I'm making, please click that subscribe button. Also remember to click that bell button and make sure to tick that box to send all notifications so you don't miss out on any videos. With that in mind, let's get on with the video. What's up guys, welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. And welcome to my video guide on Aphmau's character event, the Royal Puppeteer. So in this video, I will be covering the Cosmos fight for Aphmau's event. Now you may be wondering, what about the EX fight, Munch? Now I'm glad you asked that question, because starting from this video, I won't be showing the EX fight videos any longer. Now that doesn't really mean that this video isn't going to help you with the EX fight. In all honesty guys, in the last maybe 5 going to 10 Cosmos fights now, I've honestly been more considering the Cosmos fight when I make my strategies or my tips in these videos. And these strategies that I mentioned in my videos really still applies on the EX fight, so there's really nothing to worry about in terms of my tips. I guess the only other thing is, yeah, I am cutting the EX video out because once Chaos comes around, I'll be showing like 3 different videos, and I don't feel comfortable on extending the video time to like 30 minutes. And from what I can gather and from what I can see what people say regarding the Chaos fight, these fights take a long time. So considering Cosmos already takes about 7 to 10 minutes of video time, and if I count Chaos will be a little bit longer than that, then I don't really want to extend the videos that I make over 30 minutes long. Now I hope I have explained very well why I'm cutting the EX video out. It's not that it's a it's a bother to me. It actually isn't. Recording that is pretty easy. The editing is not too bad when it comes to that. It's just I'm going to be extending these videos to like half an hour, and I don't think I want to talk for half an hour, and I don't think you want to hear me for half an hour and trying to prolong like discussions and my thoughts on the fight. I don't think that is the way to go, so I will be trying to condense as much as I can. Now, if there are a lot of demands regarding me making an EX video guide, then I may reconsider my decision now, and I might revisit this and maybe think, well, maybe I do have time to actually make an EX video, and we'll just go from there. But with the Chaos difficulty right around the corner, I just don't see that happening. Time wise, it's already hard enough for me, who's almost nearly full-time, who have a full-time job and shift work at that as well, including night shift, for me to find a way to find the time actually record and edit out extra videos where I feel like I will be repeating myself. I would rather spend those extra time that I find on a different video, maybe a discussion video or a new series. So I guess with the explanation out of the way, let's finally start this video. Now, as always, we will start this video off with the weaknesses, resistances, and the abilities of the last boss, which is the Shift Frame Type -BW. That is quite a long name. Now, for the weaknesses, it is weak to the Thunder element and is weak to the melee and physical range attacks as well. Now there is a caveat to this weakness, and we will be going through that with the abilities. Now while it is in the airborne mode, it is weak to the melee and physical range attacks. As for its abilities here, it has the machine gun, which is a range brave attack, charge shot, which is a magic HP attack, wide range shot, which is a group range brave attack, rail cannon, which is a magic brave attack, rapid maneuver, which is a move that basically recovers itself from its break status and will do a group magic brave attack plus an HP attack. And finally, it will have a light, which basically changes its mode to from airborne to the grounded mode. Now while it is in the ground mode, it is weak to magic based attacks. Now here is something that I actually don't know, and maybe you can help me and leave down in the comments below if you know if the boss will retain its weakness to melee and range attack while it's on ground mode, because in game and even in Dissidia DB, it registers that it is weak to melee and physical range attacks. And usually when they do this, it's mostly all the time, it is always weak to that. So I don't know if it is a mistake or something, but you can let me know, because honestly the boss never touched the ground when I was fighting it. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below. Now as for its abilities while it is on the ground, it has machine gun, which is a ranged brave attack, and it has lunge, which is a melee HP attack, sonic edge, which is a group range brave attack, which also inflicts a speed down and also has a high turn rate. Next it has dash slash, which is a melee brave attack. It also inflicts a defense down and a max brave down and has a high turn rate. And then it has assault combo. It recovers itself from its break status, dealing a melee brave attack plus an HP attack, and inflicting a attack down and an initial brave down debuff, and also has a high turn rate. And finally it has rise, which increases its brave and changes its mode from the ground mode to the airborne mode. This also summons a death machine and grants a attack, a defense, speed, max brave, initial brave up to the entire party. Now the last thing that I want to note here is something that is not written in the game and neither was written in Dissidia DB. And this is when there's a note or that says the mechanical noise goes frenetic. I'm not sure whether this is a stat buff or this is the time where you know it will change its mode. I'm not really entirely sure. So if you guys know what this means, leave down in the comment below and let me know. Again, my fight never came to the point where I actually knew what it was for. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for the weaknesses, resistances, and the abilities of the boss. It's time to take a look at some general tips and guide. As always, we'll start off with saving your abilities, about 60 to 70% of your abilities on the last boss. And of course, this is for each character. Try to save them as much as you can, especially if you are struggling, that you find that you're running out of your abilities later on in the fight. Just try to use your brave attack plus and your HP attack pluses in your characters. Now the next one is to bring in the boosted characters. In this case there are 4: Aphmau, Prish, Lion, and Realm. If you don't have any of these characters, you can definitely bring the Warrior of Light, Cloud, Ace, Sephiroth, Vayne, Noel, Lael, Ash, Rinoa, Shantoto, Lightning, Setzer, Lael, Terra, Ramza, Pain, Alice, Noctis, Jet, Ida, or Sarah. Now I do have to note that certain characters will have 2 different types of attack. For example, Rinoa will have a range attack, a physical range attack, and a magical base attack. So having a little bit of a mix-up in terms of what your characters can do can definitely help you out in this fight. seeing as the boss will have different weaknesses depending on which mode it's on. So just a slight tip there. Now as for the healers plus Brave Battery options, you do have an options between Rem, Selphie, Maria, Echo, Lena, Yuna, Porum, Aerith, or Cait Sith. Now of course Aerith has received her EX weapon, that's why I wanted to sort of showcase her here. I don't think she's still very turn efficient, but she is usable in this fight. Now as for the summon, you do have an option between the three, Ifrit, Shiba, and Ramu for your summon. I do highly suggest to use Ramu because he is quite decent. You do get 15% more max brave with him, even though you don't have the increased attack. I think it's fine. The boss is weak to the thunder element. Okay, so now let's take a look at some general tips and strategies, I should say, for the actual fight itself. The first one is to bring in a Quistis or a Setzer friend support. Basically, the next tip is to use a delay tactic. That's why you're bringing a Quistis or a Setzer friend support. Obviously, Quistis is by far the superior friend support if you are going for the delay tactic. Honestly, using the delay tactic is going to be an easy win for you in this fight. There is only one boss, so delay, delay, delay. Now the next tip I have for you guys is when the boss goes on ground mode. And now I can't personally tell you from experience because the boss never landed on my fights, but on ground mode it can inflict a lot of debuffs. So you can bring in Lena or just use Aphmau to avoid these debuffs. And basically the ground mode is also one of those bosses that has a higher turn rate for every one of its attacks, so try not to get broken as well while it is on the ground mode. And my final tip for you guys is actually pretty simple. Just take note of what the boss's mode is. And it's pretty simple. When it's flying, it's in airborne mode, and if its feet on the ground, it is on the ground mode. You should take advantage of its weaknesses during these modes. Remember, airborne, melee, and physical range attacks, and while it's on the ground, it is weak to magic-based attacks. This will definitely help you out in terms of brave shaving if for some reason you do get broken on some of its attacks and end up taking HP damage. To avoid taking HP damage, you should try to take advantage of the weakness so you can brave shave efficiently. Okay, so with the general tips out of the way, it's time to take a look at some possible party compositions. The first one is obviously going to be the boosted team. Now you do have an option here, seeing as there are 4 boosted characters. There's Aphmau, Lion, Prish, and Realm. I added with this team a Setzer support, but you can definitely bring a Quistis as well with a Ramu summon. Now basically, if I have to pick one of these characters to be kicked out, it has to be Prish. Unfortunately, even though I like her as a character, she's just not turn efficient any longer. And even though if you have her EX, she hits really hard, but it's just not turn efficient enough for this Cosmos fight. Now in the EX fight, maybe she's okay. If you have Realm's EX, she is more turn efficient than Prish, definitely. Now the second possible team that you can take is the one that you saw previously, which is Setzer, Ace, and Noel. This is with a Quistis support and Ramu summon. Now this is definitely taking advantage of the delay tactic. Obviously, you would swap out Ace in this scenario because you want to delay as much as you can. There are obviously other delay characters that you can bring, like for example Lightning or even Vayne, but this works pretty well and I managed to clear this fight with this team. Now the third one I have for you guys here is the one you are seeing right now, which is Pain, Lightning, and Earth with a Quistis support and with a Ramuh summon. Now this strategy still remains the same. It's basically for you to delay as long as you can and just take as little damage as possible. Now the final team I have for you guys here is the Warrior of Light, Noctis, and Noel with a Quistis support. Kind of an overkill team. Again, Warrior of Light, best tank ever, great Brave Battery support as well. And then you have Noctis, one of the best DPS we have right now, and so is Noel. Okay, so we are finally at the end of this video, and of course I will give you guys my final thoughts on this fight. In all honesty, for a Cosmos fight, this was pretty easy, for me at least. The delay tactic is just overpowered in this fight. It is only one boss, so that's why the delay tactic is so overpowered in this fight. So I would highly suggest, if you are struggling, to actually use the delay tactic. Other than that, I can't really say too much in terms of experiencing the ground mode for the boss, but it looks like if you end up in the ground mode, it can be a little bit dicey, especially once it uses Rise during that phase where it goes back to airborne mode and then it summons like Death Machine, and you know, it will grant itself a myriad amount of buffs for the entire party. So I would say that is a little bit dicey. So if you are getting to that point, maybe try considering more DPS rather than safety in terms of your party composition. So overall, I didn't find this fight all too difficult. Having only one boss makes it a lot easier. And yeah, those are really my final thoughts on this fight. There's really nothing else. I thought I would have a much harder time in this one, but thank God I didn't. Anyway guys, that's it for this video. Please remember to click like and subscribe. It really helps this channel out. I am trying to get to that 1,000 subscriber by the end of the year, so hopefully you guys share this video to your mates, to your friends, and of course make them subscribe to my channel as well. And remember to make them click that like button as well. And as always, I would like to hear from you guys. What team did you use to beat this event or character event? Leave down in the comments below which team you use. I do like to see what kind of party compositions you guys use, and maybe try it out for myself as well. Make sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter at Munchkins Gaming. This is Munchkins logging off, and I'll see you guys in the next level.